Any other comments before we address the, yes, Tom?
Will you be considering anything other than the financial circumstances surrounding this? For example, will you be considering school situation in terms of location of school? Will you be considering lease assignments, which are not financial necessarily?
Yeah, if you look on the agenda, you'll see that committees, that all those issues will be addressed within the committees and then brought back to the commission. I'm going to call the public session closed. I think the idea, John, of looking at shared services and at the same time, and should we vote not to accept the report, that is, I think, a good point. You know, that we can recommend to both communities. This is another way of saving money. You know, so I think that that's a really valid point. The shared services. Okay. The information, again, Merchantville is a little easier in the sense we have a smaller group to go, but I believe I'll be working with the mayor to help get that information out in both communities in a better way. Again, it was very frustrating because there are certain things we couldn't do because we were not formed as a commission yet. So once now we're commissioned there, we can move ahead a lot faster and in a lot more efficient way. The funding, Tom, that I think we've already kind of addressed that now that we formed, we can then approach the funding once we get the RFP back and we know what the consultant is going to charge. Then we can start looking at funding from whatever sources. And it's not Cherry Hill's responsibility, it's not Merchantville's responsibility. It's essentially our responsibility as a commission to obtain funding. And if Merchantville decided that they would be willing to put money in, we'll be glad to accept that. If Cherry Hill would be glad to put money in, we'd be more than happy to accept that. If you'd like to donate, we'd be more than happy to accept your money too. So we will be pursuing that and you know, trying and making sure that we get enough funding in order to do this, to make this report come together the way it's supposed to be. The process about Robert, about tax rates and that, I don't know what the effect of the tax rate would be. I mean, like, I'm glad you already have a lot of input into that. I mean, as far as whatever research you've done for that. I do know that the bill that establishes this commission says that any community, if there's a financial hurt, if there's a financial deficit for that community, that the state will ameliorate that particular deficit for a number of years until a certain point, at a certain point. I don't know exactly when that is, but it's written into the law that no community is going to have to bear a financial burden because of a merger, should the merger happen. So that whatever, like Cherry Hill is not going to assume that, you know, $1.6 million or whatever of what would cost Merchantville would benefit, Cherry Hill would lose it. If that's the way it actually would happen to come out, then the state would be stepping in so that your taxes would not necessarily go up because of this, because specifically of this particular merger. Am I wrong in that, John? George?
That's a fair assessment.
Okay.
Of the statute.
Yes.
I have the statute here that's different than what you said.
Well, here's our DCA guy, you know. John, I'll be with you just a second, John.
Says, owners of any residential property or residential tenants of any municipality consolidated under the Municipal Consolidation Act who experience a municipal or school district purposes real property tax increase in the first tax year following the municipal consolidation shall be entitled to annual property tax relief until such time as they sell or transfer their home or no longer reside as tenants in the rental unit they occupied just prior to the municipal consolidation.
So what I said is the way that the law is written.
Well,
Yes.
yeah, but it
Yes.
doesn't really address the concern. The law doesn't really address the concern.
Well, okay, I don't want to get into a bit debate, and
I'm not gonna debate, I just
Okay.
wanted, you cut the public discussion off when my hand was up, so I.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't see
One
your
point
hand.
for
I'm sorry.
clarification. The $1.4 million that we're talking about is how much, if our equalized property values were accurate and current, they could have conceivably changed and we were unaware of it, and if the tax pools that had to be liquidated were current, our number was approximately $1.4 million that Merchantville would be better off, Cherry Hill would be worse off. That's under any set of savings. They'll always be $1.4 million better off because of the difference in the starting points and the fact that Cherry Hill's equalized tax rate was already less than what the consolidated tax rate was. So the way that law reads is, if you achieved enough savings to overcome that initial, imbalance, you can have a lower tax rate, but you're still $1.4 million worse off, and you won't get any relief the way that law is written, because it says only if you experience an increase. It's conceivable if the delta of $1.4 million is accurate, you could get savings of $1.4 million plus $1, and there is savings, and everybody has an infinitesimally less rate than they did before, but you wouldn't get any relief under the way that law is written. And that's why the question needs to be asked the way Bob asked it, which is there some way you can get a special allocation to overcome the difference in the starting point? And that law doesn't really address it if you read it literally. It really doesn't.
All right, well, our finances committee will be looking at this and addressing this as an issue.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, any other business? Yes.
If I may,
Bill?
Rich, if I may,
Yes.
just for clarification or maybe impact on the very discussion you're having, is Merchantville is completing, or is in the process of completing, a total revaluation, which I don't think was available when these numbers were calculated.
And I will take it one step, and I will take it one step further. Cherry Hill is in the process of a reevaluation today too.
So that equalization is
Right, so,
right now in limbo.
and until we study it, until those two revaluations are completed, I don't think we can even give an answer to what was
It makes
raised.
the finance committee's work a lot harder.
It does.
Yeah,
It does.
it makes it
Yeah.
harder, but
Yeah.
we might
But
not,
also more relevant.
yes.
Yeah. Okay, anything, commissioners, anything else for the good of the order? No, the chair will entertain a motion to adjourn. Second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.